The Phillies to start this road trip, sweeping a division rival, building the lead in the East to 3 games. Cincinnati, a different story. Unable to take advantage of a small ballpark, the Nats manages 5 runs in 2 frustrating games. Tanner Roark leads the salvage operation. It's the series finale from Great American Ballpark. Some things in baseball so hard to explain, like what happens to the Nats when they play at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. They've just been dominated by the Reds here. Hopefully things about to turn around today as the boys look to salvage one. Bob and FP, managers will tell you they can wait for offense as long as you're pitching and playing some defense, and that appears to be what Dusty Baker's doing right now.
Well, yeah, he's definitely waiting for offense. When you talk about his lineup today, 5 guys, counting Tanner Roark, under 200 in the lineup. So what's today? It's Get Well Sunday. You got a guy on the mound that has this ERA over 7, gave up 7 runs his last start in just 2 innings. So with 5 guys under 200, maybe some guys get hits today. They get a getaway day win, go to Chicago with an off day. So today's a big day. They've lost the first 2 games, but get a W today, get some hits, and feel good about yourself.
All right, that'll be a welcome thing for this road trip with a tough ballpark and a tough team coming up. Now, the Nats and the Reds, you wouldn't expect this, but it's been really one-sided since the start of last year. Hard to explain Cincinnati winning 7 of 8. The home runs, or the runs and everything, just in the advantage of the Reds. The relief ERA is supposed to be a bullpen mismatch this week, and it's gone just the opposite way.
Well, those numbers are supposed to be flip-flop. When you talk about where the Reds are as a franchise in a rebuilding mode, they've traded everybody. They're trying to blow it up and start all over again. The Nats in winning mode. They're, a lot of people pick them to win the World Series, so it's just something you can't explain. But you have to take care of business today. This is a team you should handle, and you should hit some home runs. You should get some hits. 5 runs in 2 games. You can't explain that with this Reds pitching staff. We're being told how bad this staff is, how bad the bullpen is, how bad their defense is. They've outplayed the Nats the first 2 games of this series, plain and simple.
No doubt about it. It starts with pitching, so it's Tanner Roark today. Tanner, one of those steady guys. He never does anything really spectacular, although he did strike out 15 one night. But he's the kind of guy maybe you want on a day like this. Settle things down, just go out and pitch his ball game.
Yeah, he's a grinder. You know you're going to get a good performance out of him. But the first inning key, his ERA is over 5 in the first inning. The batting average against in the first inning, over 300. Every inning after that, the ERA is low. The batting average against is low. So get through that first inning, he'll be fine.
He's 4-4 with a 2.70 ERA. But his last 3 starts, it's 1.74. What does he do between starts? Dan has more next. some good swings today here. That's what we're looking for in Cincinnati. Nats fans following their ball club on the road, and they know as well as we do, we need a win here in Cincinnati. So let's look at the starters and where they're ranked as far as their ERA. And would any of us think that Joe Ross and Tanner Roark would have the two lowest on the staff in early June? Probably not. Tanner, as we mentioned in the opening segment, very solid, 222 opponent's batting average at 270 ERA. And Dan, it's kind of an interesting thing when you delve into what starters do between their days on the mound and what all that involves.
Bob, we only see starters one every 5 or 6 days, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes in between starting pitchers' outings. And so I decided to ask Tanner whether he'd be willing to let me check in with him every day between his last start and his one here in Cincinnati. And Tanner was kind enough to do so. So we followed him over these last 5 days. He told me that his first 2 days after a start are the biggest days for him. It's when he gets his most work in. So day one, after he gets in some running of the stadium steps, he lifts lower body and abs pretty heavily, and he throws catch up to 90 feet. The next day, he runs poles from one foul pole to another, more lifting lower body, and then he stretches that arm out a little bit, going up to 120 feet on flat ground. He had the benefit of an extra off day, the Nationals off day on Thursday, and then his bullpen session is typically 3 days after, this time 4 days after. He typically throws around 40 pitches, 80% force, he said. Basically simulates all game situations during that bullpen session, also gets in an upper body lift. And then yesterday, the last day before Tanner's outing, runs some sprints, plays a light catch, and gets his legs stretched out by a trainer just to make sure that he's loose and fully ready for a start. And Tanner talked last year when he was in the bullpen about how he kind of thrives on those days in between starts and how he's a creature of habit. He gets into that routine. So now he's back in the starting rotation, is able to benefit from having those 4 or now 5 days this time in between outings to get into that flow, to really feel like he's got his stuff where he wants it, to feel like his body is in shape and his stuff is crisp. So that's the routine that Tanner goes through. And again, we thank Tanner for letting us kind of dive into his world. We're ready for Game 3 of this series here in Cincinnati. Nats hoping to take the finale here at Great American Ballpark. Lineups and first pitch next.
By PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. Nice day in Cincinnati, partly cloudy skies. Haven't heard anything about a threat of rain. As we looked ahead to Sunday, last day or two, it looked like today might be a lot like yesterday, but evidently not. Nats need to get those two guys on base today several times and get some offense going. Revere and Taylor, the first two in the lineup. So at game time, it's going to be 78. Air still a little heavy. Humidity down, if you will, to 65%. from the high 70s yesterday. So you saw the 2 leadoff guys, and then in the number 8 spot, Danny Espinosa still hitting a .199, but hot with the home run bat. 5 in his last 9 games, 1 for 6 with a homer in this series. Jason Worth 1 for 8 with a homer on the bench for this one today, as is 3 for 3 and a walk Trey Turner, who made his 16 debut 2 nights ago. John Moscott.
Well, there you see the arsenal. Fastball, slider, curveball change to go with the heater. Fastball averaging 91. Opponents hit 297 against Moscott. 5th start of the year. Last start at Colorado on Tuesday. Get this, 17-4 loser. He only went 2 innings, gave up 7 runs on 8 hits. That's why we're calling it Get Well Sunday.
2-1. He misses outside. He's from Pacific Palisades, California. Went to Pepperdine, 4th rounder by the Reds 4 years ago. Revere 0 for 7 in the series with an RBI ground ball and a base on balls, and a rather lazy fly ball out to left center for Adam Duvall. That's how this one gets underway.
Here's your Reds D today. Behind Moscott, Duvall, Holt, Bruce the outfield, DeJesus Jr., Suarez left side, Phillips, Votto right side, and Tucker Barnhart doing the catching again. Ivan DeJesus Jr.
Man, he's been swinging the bat a little bit for them. 4-game hitting streak. Dad was a good infielder. Taylor at 197, first at bat of this series. That's a 2-hopper to DeJesus. High throw, and Votto able to come down. Either got on the bag or tagged Taylor, or maybe did both. 2 outs.
Yeah, just throw a little bit high. Kind of casually flips it over there, and Joey Votto has enough time to come down and tag Michael Taylor.
I think the Nats dugout might be looking at this one.
Like Michael Taylor eased up there at the end.
Spire on the phone to the clubhouse. That turned out to be a close play with Votto trying to come back down to earth.
What do you got right here? Good catch by Joey Votto, by the way. He showed some leaping skills. Did he touch him? No, they're going to review it. Dusty Baker just gave the put the headset sign on to the umpires. I don't think he touched him. And I think it's pretty obvious, right? Joey Votto with the Olay, kind of anticipating that he's going to tag Michael Taylor. Had a lot going on right there, right? He had to jump, come down, find the runner, and it looks like Michael Taylor's safe.
If that happens, it would be a throwing error on DeJesus and the Reds' 43rd error of the year. They're tied in that department with San Diego. St. Louis has made 47 to start the season.
Did he come down on the bag? I was looking at the tag the whole time. Did his foot come down on the bag before Michael A got there? No.
Maybe the heel got the bag. Hard to tell.
Boy, risky challenge here. Dusty Baker would be out of challenges with just 2 outs in the first inning if this doesn't go his way.
I just don't know if there's enough there to overturn an out call.
Looks pretty obvious, but that never matters.
Doug Eddings, a 19-year veteran, has the plate. Jeff Nelson's the crew chief at first. It was his call. Laz Diaz at second, Corey Blazer at third. So it looks like Laz Diaz is over there with him, the first and second base umpires, who would have been the 2 closest to that play.
Meanwhile, Joey Votto is dry swinging at first base, practicing his swing.
Runners out. The Nats are out of challenges. That just goes to show what you do when you're desperate for base runners at the top of your order.
The estimated time of the replay delay was 1 minute 53
So you think his foot's on the bag right there? I can't tell.
They must.
I know he didn't tag him.
A minute 53 to decide. Here's Bryce Harper. 1 for 7 with a walk this weekend. Goes up hacking, had a pitch up. By the way, Revere, the only Nat who's ever faced Moscot before, came into his at bat 1 for 3 against the right-hander. And Harper trying to bunt one down the third base line for a hit.
Well, it's there. Look at Suarez playing shortstop. DeJesus over to the right of second base. Brandon Phillips in right field. So definitely had an opportunity.
Now it's 0-2. Bryce sees it low. Breeze really blowing from the right field corner to the left field corner here. Not a bad at all 0-2 pitch. There might be a jet stream on any ball hooked to left field today. So since the 14th of May, that's 18 ball games for Bryce, hitting a .161 on base percentage, way down. Tough numbers from Jeep. 2-2 pitch, off speed, strikes him out. 1-2-3. John Moscot against the Nats, first inning. The Nats challenge, they lost, and now here come the Reds hitting .239. They're actually ahead of the Nationals in runs now. They're 7th in the league. The Nats are 9th. And Jay Bruce came alive yesterday. Coming into this series, his numbers against Washington career not that great. 4 homers, 21 RBIs, career .209 batting average. But in this series, 3 for 8 with a home run. Tanner Roark, 4th career start against the Reds, 1-1, 1.89.
And last start he threw the fastball 58% of the time. Slider, curveball to complement it. Changeup 10%. 7 strong to earn the win against Philly last start on May 30th. Gave up just 2 runs on 4 hits. Struck out 4 Phillies. 97 pitches. So we talked about it in the open. The first inning key for Tanner Roark. 5.73 ERA in the first and a .318 average against. From innings 2 on, a .214 ERA and a .200 average against.
And the batter is 27-year-old outfielder Tyler Holt, hitting .274, 39 games, 17 hits and 62 at bats. They picked him up on waivers from Cleveland right toward the end of the season last year, September 27th. Roark with the fastball, swings back to the corner. Holt doesn't play every day, but he is 5 for 10 in his last 5 games.
I'm looking at the Reds notes and I'm trying to figure out why they threw out the first pitch. They exchanged baseballs. They threw the ball into the Reds dugout and they're authenticating it after the first pitch from Tanner Roark.
Oh-2 pitch. This ball flipped foul, right field line. I know a guy rubs up the baseball, throws a couple of good pitches, and take the ball away from him.
Try to figure it out. Revere, Taylor, Harper, your outfield today. Espinosa, Rendon left side, Murphy, Robinson right side, and Wilson Ramos behind the plate. Ben Revere in left today. Michael A. Taylor in center. Jason Worth with the day off.
1-2 from Roark. Tyler Holt jumps back from a pitch inside. Tanner's 60th career start, 97th big league appearance. Ramos sets up outside edge, and a bouncing ball goes right through for a hit.
So during the replay review, Joey Votto was at first base with his glove on, getting loose for this at bat right here. And you usually never see a guy with his glove on practicing his swing, but during the replay review, right next to Davey Lopes, he just starts getting loose for his at bat.
Wow.
This is, yep, stay through it. I'm getting loose. I'm going to use this time to do something positive. I like it.
He should get an endorsement deal from Obsession.
Hitters always thinking about hitting.
The guy can rake. Bounces one left side. Only guy over there is Rendon. Espinosa able to turn it on a 5-6-3 double play. So the shift was on, and that was the Nats shortstop on the pivot.
Well, we know Danny Espinosa can turn a double play from second base. We've seen it for a number of years. And how often do you write 5-6-3 double play in your scorebook? Well, you just did. Look at the turn by Espinosa. Nice pick by Clint Robinson. I guess it's normal nowadays, right?
Well, let me put it this way. I went 30 years without writing that down, and now it's a regular occurrence.
Nicely done. Tanner Roark getting the ground ball. Appreciating the effort behind him.
Nats turned their 52nd double play of the year. Brandon Phillips, ball one. 3 for 6 career with a home run against Tanner. And in this series, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Well hit right field and going out of play. Brandon Phillips has a way of going upstairs for pitches and pushing them the other way. Did that for a double in the 4th inning yesterday. Bases empty, 2 outs, target in. And then the breaking ball ends up low and outside, 2-2. Brandon Phillips on an 8-game hitting streak. 11 for 31. Couldn't stop his swing, and that ended up way outside. So Roark takes a leadoff hit. Double play strikeout. Here comes Daniel Murphy.
Murphy. I'm going to show you last year in April when he was off the plate. Check out the left part of your screen. April 9th, 2015. Check out the stance. Look how far off the plate he is. So roll it, guys. We'll show you the stance and how a pitch away that he covers this year or later last year that he couldn't when he was off the plate. Just a little tapper off the plate. Now this year he's on top of the plate in more of a crouch. Pitch a little bit more close to him, but still, you know, a pitch that might have been away if he was standing off the plate, so he's closer to the plate. So on the left, he went from a pest to the right, a presence where he's doing damage. And talking to Kevin Long, it all happened April 24th last year at New York when he was playing the Yankees. They decided to get him on top of the plate and make the outside pitch be right down the middle. The pitch down the middle be inside, and the inside pitch he could still cover. So now, instead of just flipping the ball or tapping that pitch we showed you, he's driving it. Big difference, right? Way off the plate, on top of it, in a crouch. Different hitter.
Covers that one, hooks it foul.
That would have been awesome. Right on cue.
Still leads the National League in hits with 78. Xander Bogaerts of Boston has 82. Murphy, a rare 0-for in this series so far in 8 at-bats. Still leading the league at 379, leading all of baseball. On base percentage of .412. And he'll spit on that ball well outside. Mets and Marlins underway. We'll keep our eyes on that one today. Matt Harvey and Jose Fernandez down at Marlins Park. Mets are only a game back of the Nationals now. Target way in. And as you said, Murphy's still able to cover that.
Yeah, and if you foul it off, that's good. But if you miss an inch toward the plate when you set up in, that's when you see it go in the seats. So, yeah, this is a good pitch. But as long as you can do this and foul it down the line, foul it in the stands, and get yourself another shot, so many pitchers have trouble going in there. If they miss by an inch over the plate, that's when the damage occurs.
Target in again. Murphy sees it low, and it's 2-2. Popped up and well out of play right below us. Look out. A lot of hang time there. Pretty good battle. Nats need to win some of these battles against this so far stingy Cincinnati pitching staff.
I mean, they're not messing around, are they? Every single pitch in, inner, innest. Those are words. Tell your teachers tomorrow, if you're still going to school, you learn a new word. Innest.
Line drive to left, but it's right at Adam Duvall. Good at bat by Daniel Murphy. Nothing to show for it. When the Nats win, everybody wins, especially if they win big, scoring 7 runs or more. It's 50% off. Online orders, that's the regular menu price at papajohns.com. Enter Nats 50 as your promo code. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official pizza of your Nats, valid at participating DMV locations. Wilson Ramos didn't start Friday night, had a double off the bench, had another one yesterday. He's 2 for 4. So 9 for 18. 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 6 ball games. Taking everything the other way if they pitch him that way. And that was an up and in called strike that Wilson didn't like, and he looked back at Doug Eddings. Then he drops one to the outside edge. Does John Muscott. They were strikes. 1-2. Ramos jammed, fights it off.
Leads all catchers in batting average, 342, on base percentage, slugging percentage, RBI.
In the number 5 spot today, Rendon, you saw on deck. Ramos laying off that pitch away. Reaching out to the shortstop, De Jesus, another high throw, and he's going to send Wilson Ramos to second base with his second airmail of the day. Joey Votto saved the first one, and that wasn't even close.
Yeah, this is nowhere near. He's kind of goosed that one. Did you see that short arm delivery? So if you're scoring that home, that's 6 to the cameraman. And Brian Price can't be liking what he's seeing from his shortstop early in this game. He's wiping his hand out there like it's sweaty, but you could tell by the way he threw that he wasn't really interested in letting it fly.
Yeah, he didn't make an error in his first 29 games, and then he's almost made 2 here in 2 innings. So a gift for the Nats, and they have to take advantage of something like that. Rendon in the series 3 for 5. Ooh. He got a pitch he thought he could get up in the wind in left field.
So 6 to the cameraman. Watch this. Whoa, hey. Almost broke the lens. Those are expensive. Those are like 50 or 60 bucks, I think.
Not to mention the highly paid people behind those things.
Yeah. Bringing the game right into your living room.
Or in this case, the baseball. Upstairs, 1-1. Rendon a homer, 2 RBIs yesterday. So he's been on base in this series 5 times. On base 23 of his last 27 games. Looks like time was requested by Tucker Barnhart, the catcher. Inside the numbers with Anthony Rendon. So since May 10th, hitting over 350. Hits are piling up. He's second to Murphy on the club. Great numbers. This would be a great time for RBI number 18. Good pitch, outside edge.
Look at what he's setting up. He did that yesterday, Tucker Barnhart. He sets up off the plate and gets calls if you hit the target.
Yeah, some umpires do that.
Not as much as they used to, though, with all the strike zone boxes on television. You know, back in the day, the Braves catchers, Javi Lopez, used to sit up in the other batter's box. If he hit his glove, it was a strike.
Left side. That ball dropped by Suarez. Time to recover. And with Ramos holding at second base, 2 outs. It's kind of funny if they would have had pitch track back in that World Series. Nobody would have ever heard of Livan Hernandez. I mean, he was throwing balls 8 to 10 inches outside.
Was that Eric Gregg?
Yeah, strikes all day.
Set up in the dugout, hit the glove, it's a strike.
Up to Clint Robinson with 2 outs now. Clint the series 0 for 4. 2 homers, 9 RBIs.
Ideally, when you're facing a guy that gave up 7 runs in 2 innings his last start, you don't want him to settle in. His confidence is rattled after his last start. He's wondering if his stuff plays at this level. Only his 5th start of the year. If you can jump a guy like this early, then it's serious advantage Nats, because he's still searching. Hey, did I fix it between starts? Was last start just a blip on the radar? What happened? So the longer he goes scoreless, the more his confidence builds.
Oh, 2 to Robinson. Moscott 1-4 career, 0-3 this year. Made a couple of starts for the Reds in 15. And a 1-2. Robinson takes it low.
But you see that Tucker Barnhart was setting up behind Clinton Robinson. I don't know that I've seen a catcher set up that far in all year. It's hiding behind the hitter.
Robinson called out. Boy, there are strikes all over the place early in this game. Clint didn't like it. Nats are gone. They've stranded their first runner.
Two here in Cincinnati. There was probably some concern among Nationals fans yesterday when Steven Strasburg was stretching out his right leg after coming back onto the mound following the first rain delay in yesterday's ballgame. Got some good news after the game last night, however. Strasburg said that it was just a calf cramp in that right calf. It's something that he's had in the past. He just got dehydrated. He tried to, consume a lot of water and stay hydrated during yesterday's ball game, but that was tough for him to do. The calf just kind of grabbed on him a bit during that 6th inning. Got some massage work after the game, some treatment, and said that he felt fine afterwards. So looks like no lingering issues for Steven Strasburg going forward.
That's good news.
That is real good news. Yeah, he only threw 19 pitches after the rain delay before he had to come out. So Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. Foul ball off the bat of Jay Bruce. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting at Coons. Jay Bruce, big day yesterday. 3 hits, a homer. He's 0 for 4 career with a couple of walks against Tanner Roark, who tries to buzz that inside edge a little high. 2-1. Okay, was that the one that was a strike to Robinson?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Maybe Wilson Ramos should forget about setting up behind the plate.
That was a ball. We looked at it on pitch track during the break. It was outside, way outside.
3-1 to Bruce, who lifts one to left and out of play. An example of how big you can hit fly balls in this ballpark. He reached out yesterday and flipped one to the opposite field. It found the end of the bleachers by the bullpen, 406 feet deep left center. And today could be that day too, because the wind's really blowing that way. Roark's going to miss outside.
So Steven Strasburg yesterday, in case you missed it, had a little cramp going on in his, was his right hip? Found him digging his thumb in there trying to loosen it up. Maybe that thing kind of went down to his calf, like Dan was talking about. Very hot, humid day, probably dehydrated, felt it in his swing, and then if you've ever had a calf cramp before, they're not fun. Sometimes they'll make you go to the ground.
78 pitches, 51 strikes through 5 innings, and then he retired only one of the next 4 batters he faced. Walk, 2-run Votto homer, struck out Phillips, base hit to Bruce, and that's when Dusty came out. Adam Duvall's been a load for the Nats this weekend. 3 for 7, 2 homers, a walk, 4 RBIs. Ramos inside, better get it in there. He did, but Duvall is going so well he fought it off. Stopping at second, Jay Bruce, and Adam Duvall is 4 for 8 against the Nats.
Yeah, he's been impressive this weekend. On top of the plate, ball elevated just a touch around his belt, so he's able to fight it down the left field line.
2 on, nobody out. Eugenio Suarez has kind of tasted all of it in this series. 3 for 4 Friday, homer, 2 RBIs. His only out, pinned Revere up against the wall. Then yesterday, struck out swinging 4 times. Seeing Roark for the first time. Couldn't stop his swing on that.
Tell you what, you have a day where you go for 4 with 4 Ks. You go home that night and you're dreaming about making contact or never making contact again. Days like that will get in your head big time.
One, that's a good fastball. By the way, in that first inning, the determination was that Votto's foot did come down on the bag. He got his heel right on the corner of it, or Taylor would have been safe, so there was no tag. Looked like Suarez was ready to dive out over the plate, and Roark really backed him up. Reds have 2 hits and a walk already. Challenge fastball off the label. Right field, bases loaded. Reds putting the ball in play. And now De Jesus coming up.
Yeah, Barrow's overrated this inning. A couple of jam shots for hits after the leadoff walk. Tanner Roark trying to get that ball down just a little bit. You throw that same pitch a little bit lower, it's a ground ball.
Yeah, I heard a hitter once say pitchers complain about bloops, but most of them come on pitches that are elevated.
You get it down, you get your ground ball. That's what he needs right here. He'll trade a couple of outs for a run.
De Jesus doesn't play a lot, 66 at bats so far. hitting only .212, but he's 5 for his last 12. Good looking pitch, ball 1. Bruce, Duval, and Suarez, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st.
Oh, cutter right there at 92, breaking away. Watch the subtle movement here on this fastball from Tanner Roark, just kind of cutting away at the last second from DeJesus Jr.
He turns on a ball that was inside and hits it over Ben Revere's head. Bruce and Duval score. Ball rattles around, and now the bases have been cleared, and Cincinnati leads 3-0.
Well, Dusty Baker can't believe what he's seeing. And that would have been 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, but Ben Revere dropped the ball. He played it perfectly off the fence, but watch when he goes to transfer the ball to his glove, it just falls out. It's kind of whiffs on it, right? Everybody scores, 3-0.
So a double and 2 RBIs. They give Revere an error, his 2nd of the year. And the Nats have now made 3 errors in this series, 2 yesterday.
Tanner fighting to get that ball down right now. He's been elevated this inning. Fastball's been up.
Tucker Barnhart, the number 8 man. 0 for 3 career against Roark. And he was up there in swing mode trying to pull the ball for a base hit.
Tucker Barnhart's got good eye black going today. That's real too. Those aren't stickers, so that took a lot of work. Get in front of the mirror. You get the Q-tip out, just make them so they look like stickers, but they're really the traditional eye black.
The makeup within the game, huh?
Yeah. Gotta look good to play good.
One-two to Barnhart. Pitch upstairs.
We've seen Tanner in situations like this when his fastball's up, figure a way, find a way. That's what's maybe his best quality. When he's elevated with one pitch or one pitch isn't working, he finds a way to keep his team in the game. And you have to believe that if he keeps it at 3-0, the Nats have a chance to win this. I mean, it's a very offensive park with a staff that hasn't pitched well this year. And the Nats are due to score some runs. So keep it 3-0. You got a chance to win this. I'm sticking to that.
Another long count. Not looking great to the northwest, right behind us. That's a base hit. DeJesus will be held by Billy Hatcher at third. And the Reds have the line moving. Now the pitcher's coming up with nobody out.
Jim Riggleman, first base coach.
John Muscott 0 for 4 with a sacrifice bunt. Career 1 for 8. He's going to bunt a chopper. Roark checks the runner at third, the one at second, and goes to first. 1 for a sacrifice because Barnhart advances.
It's a big at bat in this ball game early. There's Jim Riggleman coaching first today. I think Freddie Benavides has been there the whole series. So Riggleman taking over today, and there's the Nats' old skipper.
Yeah, he's Jim's the bench coach. Told me it's great to be back in the big leagues, but he said he really enjoyed his 3 years in the Reds organization. 1 year at Pensacola, 2 in Louisville managing. AA, AAA. That's a foul tip off the bat of Tyler Holt.
You know, whatever happened with the Nats, Jim Riggleman was always good to us. He treated us with class all the time, gave us information, answered every question. And as a guy in his first go around as a broadcaster in 2011 when he was a skipper, I'll always remember that he was good to me.
Learned most of his baseball under Whitey Herzog, just a class guy and a solid baseball man. 0-1 pitch. Out of play right side.
Just turned into a night game, by the way.
From sun to clouds to the stadium lights being on.
It's going to miss us. They're going to close the roof.
Those flags have been blown to the left field corner since first pitch here. So Tyler Holt base hit up the middle first time, infield in. 0-2.
It's a good pitch. Why is it a good pitch? Well, now you got him thinking about the inner half of the plate. Maybe you go to the other side, or maybe you go right back in there. But it's opened up a couple of windows for Roark, and he needs a strikeout in a big way.
Swinging at a breaking ball. That thing was spinning like crazy. It was actually fair for a hop before it made a left turn.
I don't think Wilson Ramos saw that. All of a sudden he realized where it was. You talk about a ball with tons of spin on it. Watch this ballada action. Pro V1X coming at you. Watch this. Just hits and checks up right back to the pin. Sandwich all the way.
Busted bat, center field, base hit, 2 more runs. Unbelievable. 5-0 Cincinnati. The value of putting the ball in play on display by the Reds offense here.
Yeah, another pitch up. It was a good location. It jammed him. But Tyler Holt does a nice job of getting his hands inside the ball. So what's that? 3 broken bat singles in the inning for the Reds, and that's just kind of how the weekend's gone for the Nats. Did not see this coming.
Joey Votto, 5-6-3 double play ball first time. Even with the runner at first, the Nats pretty much in the same defensive shift. .92 in there, 2 balls, 1 strike. A lot of long counts. Roark, 13 pitches, 9 strikes first inning. Got a double play and a strikeout.
Just working on keeping that front side closed a little longer. Kind of flying open. That's why the fastball's been elevated. The arm's trailing a little bit. And this is a ballpark you definitely want to keep the ball down. I mean, he's had tough luck this inning. Those have been good pitches, but when Tanner Roark's locked in, you see a lot of ground balls and a lot of cold strikes.
Runner goes. High fly ball left field. The wind's taking it, and Revere right in front of the scoreboard makes the catch. 2 outs. That was a routine fly ball that almost became a double or a homer.
Yeah, Joey Votto got it up in the jet stream, and that was scary. Every fly ball in this ballpark is scary.
That'll bring in Brandon Phillips.
I don't know how you manage here for 81 games. I mean, you'd age in presidential years, I feel like. Every fly ball you have your blood pressure going through the ceiling. Both sides, even when your guys are hitting, you're thinking, oh, that's gone.
Yeah.
No.
Well, last year the Reds were 12th in ERA. This year they're 30th in all of baseball. But they didn't have the offense last year they have this year. They're more of a speed team. Middle of the league in home runs, batting average, and runs. But they got some offense this year with the emergence of Duvall in left. There's another base hit. Brandon Phillips, the 9th man to bat, right in front of Taylor. Going to third is Holt, and looks like Michael A couldn't get the ball out of his glove. He was going to throw to third, it appeared.
Well, an aggressive play by Tyler Holt, up by 5 runs. He doesn't care if it's 2 outs and he gets thrown out at third. Watch him go right in front of Michael A. Taylor, and he's out if he throws this with his arm strength and his accuracy. He just couldn't get out of his glove. Another elevated pitch by Tanner Roark and another jam shot single.
Jay Bruce started all this with a leadoff walk.
I feel like Ivan DeJesus is the only guy that's hit it on the barrel this inning, and Joey Votto.
Nationals bullpen getting to work. Blake Trinan pitched an inning and 2/3 here yesterday from the 6th to the 8th inning. Runner goes at first with a runner at third. Ramos will not throw.
He's walking down the line. Tyler Holt almost just stole home. I mean, he was more than halfway down the line. Tanner Roark, tell him, go ahead. But I feel like when you're in the shift and you have Rendon playing shortstop, you could steal home with the guy out of the stretch if he's not looking at you.
1-2 to Bruce, a swing and a miss, and finally the inning over. The Reds score 5 runs and leave 2 others. To start happening. Down by 5 runs, out hit 7-0 in the first 2 innings. Danny Espinosa, both sides of the plate here, FP, getting that power thing done. 3 homers last 4 games.
I think 5 homers in his last 9 games. So the long ball for Danny Espinosa has been a big deal, especially out of the 8 spot. I mean, it's so tough to hit down there. You never get pitches to hit. It's the old debate, do I expand my zone when they're trying to walk me? Do I take my walks? It's difficult when you don't have protection hitting behind you, and Danny Espinosa's made the most with the power numbers.
In the series, 1 for 6 with that last homer you saw yesterday. That tied the ball game up. And then the Nats didn't hold on to the tie game for long. A walk, a single, and an Adam Duvall 3-run 8th inning homer against Sean Kelly led to the Cincinnati 6-3 win. Nationals have hit 24 in their last 11 games. Rolls over a tapper to the right side for Joey Votto. He'll go it alone to the bag.
All right, Dollar Ice Cream, courtesy of Good Humor, come to the ballpark on Tuesday, June 14th. Nats take on the Cubs. $1 Good Humor Ice Cream novelty. Some restrictions apply. Visit nationals.com/tickets for an ice cream sandwich. The Turbo Rocket you just saw. Go for those right now. Both of them.
Tanner Roark looking for his first base hit of the year. One hopper, a Eugenio Suarez.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one on this Sunday afternoon, look forward to Miller Time later in the ballgame. That's brought to you by Miller Lite.
First time through the order, the Nationals go 0 for 9. Ramos reached on an error. Here's Ben Revere.
We talked about it in the open, and you know, facts are facts. In 6 years here, I don't know that I ever filled out a lineup card with 5 hitters under 200. I've been there. It's not fun, folks. Let me tell you. And that's why you're thinking today against a guy like John Moscott with the ERA at 7 was going to be a feel-good day. And second time around, let's see if they figure him out.
Up in the zone, a strike to Revere. In the series, 0 for 8. Strike 2. Revere hits it on the button, but it's right at Tyler Holt in center. Moscott has a no-hitter going through 3.
The Reds' second inning. Watch how everything just fell for him. Good pitches from Tanner Roark. You know, CNI singles, broken bat singles. But they were putting the ball in play, just finding holes. It's kind of been how the weekend's gone here for the Nats. Brandon Phillips fighting one off into left center field. Finding some holes, getting it done.
Tanner Roark, not much time in the dugout to regroup from a 5-run, 5-hit second inning. Strike 1. Adam Duvall, bottom of the 3rd underway. That was his 55th pitch. Fastball swings back to the outside edge. Roark, 3rd K of the day. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Well, we always say a Tanner Roark start revolves around that swing back fastball, the front hipper that he throws to lefties, the run back fastball to righties, and that was a good one. If he's got the feel for that pitch, it's usually a long day for his opponents. That's the best one he's thrown here today.
Here's Suarez, the 3rd baseman, opposite field hit first time. Ball well hit. Here comes Harper. Bryce makes a sliding catch. The ball had some serious tail on it. Kind of went from one side of Bryce's body to the other.
Well, nice play by Bryce Harper. Another jam shot from the Reds. And as an outfield, maybe you scoot in and say, hit it over our heads. Bryce playing shallow, got a good jump. And taken away would have been another jam shot single for the Reds. Good play, Bryce.
Next up, Ivan De Jesus. He had the big blow of that inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. He doubled down the left field line. 2 RBIs. Revere dropped the ball after picking it up. 3 men scored on that batted ball. This one high in the air, right center. Taylor and Harper converging. Michael A. makes the call and the catch. Tanner gets what he needed. A 1-2-3 third inning. RAV4 Hybrid, all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com today. We will not allow you to put a Cincinnati Reds logo on the side though. But they've got a nice pickup on display here. That's cool.
Who's going to drive that?
That might be how Mr. and Rosie Red get to the ballpark.
Yeah, those are the only people that can drive that. Mascots. Yeah, that's Moscot.
Yeah, Moscot, 43 pitches, 31 strikes. Has not given up a hit. Taylor, Harper, and Murphy, top 4. Sky's darkening again. We're going to get about 7 different climates today before this one's over.
Just a little shower approaching.
I don't like the looks of that.
Yeah, just this little funnel cloud approaching. It's a small tornado, probably. We're okay. It's a little funnel cloud.
Run for your life, Dan. Can't afford to lose you. 0-2 to Taylor. Hit a bouncing ball to short first time. Out on a bang play and a high throw. Strike 3.
Calling all Hokies and Wahoos, Wednesday, June 29th is our second annual College Rivalry Day. The purchase of a special ticket, enjoy pregame activities, and get a reusable Nationals acrylic cup. Those ones on your right. Visit nationals.com/College Rivalry Day for tickets. Checking their apps. It's a little shower.
Here's Harper, struck out first time on an off-speed pitch. That's a strike, running to the inside edge. There's the ball ripped through the shift. And
there goes the no-hitter.
Thank you. Murphy next. He hit the ball hard first time. A line out to left.
Good swing. Hit too hard. Doesn't matter where you're playing on defense. So made a nice play. First hit of the game.
Bryce gets to visit with Joey Votto for the third time in this series. 2 hits and a walk. Curveball in the dirt.
There's a funny Baseball Friends cartoon with Jason Worth, Joey Votto, and Brandon Phillips. If you Google it, it's called Baseball Friends. It's hilarious.
Murphy launches one. See you later. About 2/3 of the way up the bleachers. And the Nats are on the board with Murphy's 10th of the year. He wasn't about to go 3 games over.
That was a far one. And we were talking his first at bat. If you're going to go in there, you better get it in, because when you're standing on the plate like Daniel Murphy, if you miss by just an inch, you see that come back? He'll get you. What a sound, what a swing. Look how far this one goes. Double-digit home runs for Daniel Murphy. And we got a ball game.
5-2 now. Ramos is next.
You know, there's certain days when you got to pick up your pitcher. And there's certain days in certain ballparks against certain teams that you got to pick up your pitcher. And today's one of them. If the Reds want to slug, you got to go toe-to-toe with them and outscore them today. The Nats have that kind of offense. We just haven't seen it for a couple days.
Ramos a tapper. Foul before Barnhart could grab it. 405 feet on the Murphy homer. One thing we've come to trust is the Reds fans, when they start heading for cover, something's about to happen.
Well, when it rains every day, you feel like you know when it's going to rain. They're used to it. Here we go again.
This time of the year, here
comes a dark cloud. It's going to rain. Single file. Don't panic. It's just water.
Top of the 4th inning. Ramos 0 for 1. Reached on an error.
So
still scoreless, as we kind of expected in Miami. Mets Marlins, bottom of the 5th. Harvey Hernandez.
That's a good one.
Fernandez, pardon me. Each team has 1 hit in that game.
But now if you're John Moscott, you're starting to have some flashbacks to your last outing. You start to wonder all of a sudden. Bullet to Bryce Harper, a far home run to Daniel Murphy, and you were cruising along, and now maybe there's some doubt.
Ramos in the air to right. That'll back up Bruce. He's still going. The ball's still going, and it's out of here. Bruce came close to getting a piece of it, and now the Nats have back-to-back jacks. It's a 5-3 game.
Are you kidding me? That ball got out of here. I mean, that was a pop-up to right.
Well, the wind has shifted and is going over that way a bit, as opposed to just the opposite before.
Well, you talked about yesterday the space in the stadium right here to our left. There's a jet stream out to right, and that had to be right in the jet stream. Wilson Ramos will definitely take it. His 8th home run of the year. 2 horns up. 5-3. Fast break Nats coming at you.
Moscott must feel like he's at Coors Field again. But if there's wind coming out of the north, which it is right now, it'll come right through that opening to the left of home plate and help balls to right field.
I mean, this is a pop-up. It didn't have a good sound off the bat. And when I looked up and saw Jay Bruce going back, I was thinking, what? And Wilson Ramos wishing that one out of here. I told you he's had an angel on his shoulder since his grandfather died. He might have had something to do with that one. That was a wind-blown home run, and Wilson Ramos will take 1,000,000 of those. Jay Bruce gave it a good try. Just misses it, as a matter of fact.
Anthony Rendon is next in what's now a 5-3 game.
He's having one of those years, folks. He's an all-star. Vote for him.
6-time back-to-back. That home run 64 feet shorter than Murphy's. Wilson Ramos is on his way to double digits. That's 8 for him. Rendon.
It's gone.
Bruce giving it a long run. The ball stays in for him over there. 2 outs. Let's go inside the numbers with PNC. The Nats, by the way, now have 26 home runs in their last 12 games. So 50 since the 1st of May, eclipsed by only the Red Sox and the Rays. And the Reds right there too. Nationals have 76 home runs. It's game number 57. And for now, things brightening up a bit and people returning to their seats. If any weatherman ever leaves Palm Springs to come to work here, he's out of his mind. Or she's out of her mind.
I don't get it. They were filing out like it was Armageddon, and now it's sunny out. What were they thinking? One person gets up and leaves and like, oh yeah, we better go. Joe's leaving. Everybody get up and go. Now they're all back.
I mean, you and I were halfway out the door. Two-1. Sun blazing now. Ball 3. Danny Espinosa next.
Joe's coming back. We should go back.
Target in. High strike. Clint was called out first time on an off-speed pitch that was well off the plate.
I think this one might come back.
Nissan on the pitch track. Ball inside the box upstairs. 3-2 now. Robinson rips one to right. Fair ball into the corner. It'll hit at the 335 mark and deaden right there. Actually 325 down that side. And the Nats have 3 extra base hits in this inning. 4 hits total.
Well, second time around, Ben Revere got robbed in center field. Hit it well. I should say not robbed. Hit it well in center field. Then Harper with a single. Murphy with a homer. Ramos with a homer. And now a double from Clint Robinson. So making the adjustment second time around. And
Mark Riggins, the pitching coach. Now the Reds bullpen starting to move around. Might be time to get those bullpen tarps off. It all started with 1 out with a Bryce Harper single through the shift. Murphy bombed one to right. So here's Danny Espinosa coming in, and Dan has more.
Bob, Danny Espinosa on some kind of power run recently. 5 home runs in his last 9 games, but he only has 6 hits in that span. 5 of them have left the yard. I talked to hitting coach Rick Shue. He says Danny knows, and Danny has admitted this as well, that he needs to get his average up. He needs to reach base more consistently. Shue says Espinosa has sick pop, as he calls it. He says when he barrels balls, they're going to travel. It's just a matter with Danny of consistently putting the ball in play. Danny's also been the victim of some bad luck. Batting average on balls in play just 229 this year. That'll probably go up a bit over the course of the season, but he knows, and Rick Shue knows, got to put the ball in play more consistently.
It's always been the big thing for Danny. Get the bat on the ball. He has great speed. Tanner Roark on deck. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Right-hander Daniel Wright. And now Drew steps out on deck. Danny Espinosa keeps this inning going. He'll bat, and Trinan will come in. And now that's going to be the case. They're going to walk Espinosa. They saw what he did yesterday. And they're going to put the tying run on base here and force Dusty Baker into the move, which evidently he was going to make anyway. First walk by Moscot today.
Well, if you're Stephen Drew and you're standing in the on deck circle, you're like, okay. Do you want to pitch to me? Kind of Roark upset that his day's over.
Yeah, Roark, 62 pitches, 40 strikes in 3 rough innings.
And you see that move if Roark's on deck, but if you're Stephen Drew, you take that one personal.
Drew is a pinch hitter, 2 for 12, both homers, 3 RBIs. He gets a curveball for a strike. So just like that, here in the 4th inning, the Nationals have the tying run on base. Fastball up.
Moscot trying to go in there, and he's successful earlier in the game pounding that fastball in and run it back. Now he's leaving it out over the plate.
One off speed. Good take by Drew to get the count in his favor. Similar pitch, 3-1. Crowd getting a little restless, and not because of the weather. Drew up the middle, ball spinning into center field. Hit slow enough, Robinson scores easily. Espinosa to third. It's a 5-4 game. The Nats get a cue shot right in the center pocket right there.
Well, you feel like they were due to get one of those. And Stephen Drew off the bench, an RBI single. The move works by Dusty Baker. What new? And that's going to do it for John Moscot. He was cruising, folks. Then all of a sudden in the 4th, the wheels fell off.
Neither starter makes it into the 3rd inning or 4th inning in one case or 5th inning in the other. Starting to slug in Cincinnati, 5-4.
in the boombox after Zim. That's strong. And then the Rick James hair, I love it. Leg warmers are going to be the pregame concert, 5 to 6:30, 7:05 against the Phils. You get a free fanny pack, first 20,000 fans on 80s night. I can't wait for that. June 10th at the ballpark, 80s night, folks.
That promo moved way too fast for me. I want to see more.
I do too.
Third appearance for the right-hander, 25-year-old Daniel Wright. Pitched at Arkansas State University. Originally from Tennessee. And he was drafted by the Reds in the 10th round 3 years ago. Nats seeing a lot of arms here for the first time this weekend. Ben Revere, ninth man to bat in the inning. Ball one inside. Tying run at third base here in the fourth.
Yeah, right, a three-pitch guy. Fastball, curveball, change. Fastball averaging 89.
Way inside, and Barnhart made a good grab there. That was behind the hitter. And he kept that from tying the game. Ben Revere needs a knock. He's 0 for 9 here. Has an RBI and a ground ball. Two-one pitch. Ball 3. Revere rips one to right to tie it up. Stopping at second, Drew. Ben Revere gets the Nationals back to 5-5 here in a huge fourth inning.
Yeah, start this one all over again. How about that? A 5-run second for the Reds. A 5-run fourth and counting for the Nats. Clutch 2-out knock by Ben Revere. Line is moving. And offense is cool. This is what we've been waiting for the whole series from these guys. They can hit. Just didn't happen the first 2 games.
Michael A. Taylor, first pitch swinging, pops it up left center. Holt, the grab. Power highlights a huge fourth inning. Daniel Murphy just launching one nearly to the Ohio, and then Wilson Ramos barely sneaking one over the yellow line.
Smiles, they're brought to you by Hair Cuttery, home of the Smile Back Guarantee. No small print, just big smiles. Cotton candy will make you smile. And a 5-run fourth will make a lot of guys in the third base dugout smile, and maybe a few broadcasters too.
I, for one, happy to have some offense to talk about. Murphy and Ramos really got the power game going. And then Robinson got it restarted. Big hit by Stephen Drew, and a big one for Ben Revere. Sammy Solis takes over, bottom of the fourth in a 5-5 game. Up there hacking Tucker Barnhart. Pitcher on deck. Sammy 13th appearance, 193 ERA, 14 Ks. 14 innings, but 8 walks. He'd like to solve that. Bouncer up the middle. Can anybody get it? No. Fast infield. Leadoff man aboard. Now they can use their reliever Daniel Wright and bunt.
And Tucker Barnhart's got the magic touch today. Last time hit a ball between first and second. This time up the middle, 2 for 2, having a good day.
Wright 0 for 3 as a big league hitter. And late in trying to push that one. Does not have a sacrifice at the major league level. He does now. Well bunted. Rendon to Murphy. 5-4 in the sacrifice. Next 5 ball games will take us through Chicago and back home for 2 of the 3 against the Phillies next weekend. So all night games at U.S. Cellular Field against a struggling Chicago ball club that's just 2 games over 500 now. 2 back of Cleveland in the AL Central. Nats just swept the Phillies, and WUSA 9 will hop aboard with us Friday and Saturday. Joe Ross goes in Chicago Tuesday night.
Another night game on getaway day.
Yeah, Thursday. See where the White Sox picked up James Shields for their rotation. We don't know their rotation yet officially for that series.
Wilson Ramos got crossed up. Nats are lucky that he caught that. He was looking for off speed. I think that was a fastball.
Sequence of signs with a runner at second, and he's a catcher.
Check this out. He's looking for this in the dirt, maybe. And then it's darn near a strike, isn't it? That was close.
Tyler Holt 2 for 2. He comes off the bench and has a single up the middle to start their game, then a 2-run bloop to center second time. That one right in there. There's a breaking ball, and Jeff Nelson on the appeal, no swing.
See it from the side? Yeah, that's not close. They're talking about how the closed stance is no longer really used in the big leagues, but Tyler Holt, he's featuring a closed stance. In the 80s, everybody had a closed stance. So maybe on 80s night, all the guys in tribute to 80s night will go closed stance.
Don't count on it. 3-1, that's in there. Does a closed stance enable you to use more of the opposite field?
Yeah, it just keeps your front side in there a little bit longer, but I think when you're closed off like that, sometimes you don't get to the inside pitch as well. And maybe with all the increase in velocity, it's just kind of evolved in guys opening up or being more square. I don't know, but you rarely see a close stance anymore.
3-2 with 1 out. Sammy brings the breaking ball in. That was a swing and a foul.
And we've talked about it on the air. I watched that 1984 NLCS, Padres Cubs, and every single hitter in both lineups was severely closed. Even Tony Gwynn, who hit 350 something that year, was right foot almost on the plate, left foot back on the back line, and they all had closed stances.
That's a walk on a 3-2 breaking ball. 2 on, 1 out. Joey Votto and Sammy Solis now.
Joey Votto tried to play the elements last time up. The wind was blowing out. He tried to loft one out of here and hit a fly ball to the wall. That's when it was blown to left.
All the Reds are seeing Sammy Solis for the first time, and that's a swing and a miss. Marlins have a run in the 6th. They lead the Mets 1-0. Votto takes one in there. Good fastball. Mercedes-Benz.
Well, you're going to go in. You got to plant it in there. And Sammy Solis threw a perfect pitch. Maybe a little cut to it as it came back at 93.
Goes up and in, and Votto can't stop his swing. 2 outs.
Well, big strikeout from Sammy Solis. Joey Votto, when you talk to Reds people, the league has been pounding him in. That's how he's been retired for the most part this year with his .224 average. They're pounding him in, and that's exactly what Sammy Solis and Wilson Ramos just did.
Brandon Phillips 1 for 2 in the series, 4 for 10.
When I think of Brandon Phillips in RBI situations, he's dangerous. Why? He takes a lot out of his swing in these scenarios. He'll spread out, flip the ball to right. You know, nobody on, he'll try to let it rip and shoot you out of the yard. But with runners in scoring position, he's a lot like Yadier Molina, where he just tries to flip the ball to right.
This guy is an RBI man. He started the season with 825. Back in 06, he had a 17 RBI week. And that was the most by a Red since a guy sitting back in our studio. Ray Knight did it. He had 17 in a week. In July of '89, then Ray had 18 in a week in August of '89 for the Reds. And Brandon Phillips, he'll be flirting with 900 RBIs career here soon. One-two pitch.
See that swing? He's trying to go to right. Fastball in. He slices it over his dugout. 2-strike adjustment. He spreads out, no stride, just trying to put it in play.
2 on, 2 out. To the left side for Anthony Rendon. Took a while, but Sammy Solis gets a 0 on the board. So the Nats offense back to work. 3 guys who did damage: Harper, Murphy, and Ramos.
Something to smile about. We'll give you something to smile about. How about a 5-run 4th inning? Bryce Harper started the parade with a base hit. Daniel Murphy hit one to Paducah. Wilson Ramos hit one just over the yellow line. They both count as homers, no matter how far you hit them. And then Stephen Drew took it personal. They walked Danny Espinosa to get to a base hit. Then Ben Revere with a clutch 2-out knock. And Bryce Harper about to lead it off again here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, the guys haven't had a chance to bat in back-to-back innings in a while. They get that opportunity with 10 Nationals batting in the 4th. So Bryce 1 for 2 today in the series, 2 for 9 with a base on balls. Phillips in right field on the shift. Daniel Wright gave up the Revere hit. Then a 1-pitch fly ball off the bat of Michael A. Taylor. Bryce trying to put the Nats on top with that hack. .561 Nats, .581 Reds. Target in. Harper showed bunt again and then took a strike.
Well, I'm sure Brian Price would love for him to bunt, and they're really teasing him because he's got the whole left side if he wants to push one past the pitcher.
2-2 pitch. Harper jammed. Short left center. Rushing on Duvall, and it fell out of his glove. So a break for the Nationals. See if they give Harper his second hit of the day.
Oh yeah, it's a sliding try. It's a base hit all the way. Can't give a guy an error that's sliding on the turf. And Bryce will take it. That bunt was teasing him the whole at bat. He was thinking about it. Then he flips one in, and Adam Duvall with a sliding effort coming in hard. Tyler Holt didn't get a read on it. He was playing on the warning tracks, respecting Bryce's power, and he's able to drop one in. And Nats are hoping here we go again.
Daniel Murphy. Last time up, hit one a mile. RBI total at 36. He's into double digits in home runs. And he reaches and taps one over the pitcher's head for a base hit. So the Nats getting some of the medicine the Reds were getting a few innings ago. And here comes Wilson Ramos.
Hits Murphy. Inventing ways. Hit one about 450 feet last time up, and now he taps one over the mound. Another 2-hit game for Daniel Murphy.
His 27th of the year, and he has 80 base hits now.
80. Are you kidding me?
In the Nats' 57th game of the year. By the way, he hit 14 home runs for the Mets all of last year, and he's at 10 right now. Ramos, a breaking ball that drops in.
Seen all kinds of funny hits here today from both clubs. Stephen Drews had all kinds of English on it. It got to the outfield grass and was spinning crazy, going left, going right.
So Ramos in this series 3 for 6, all extra base hits, 2 doubles and the homer.
All right, Nats fans, fill out your 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot right now at Nationals.com on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can vote up to 35 times. Vote today. Nationals.com/vote. And all those guys out there right now, vote for them.
1-1. It's outside to Ramos. Up the middle, it's through. Harper had to retreat, so he'll stop at third. Bryce did the right thing. He wasn't holding, he was going back. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. And the 3, 4, 5 hitters are dominating this game right now.
Wilson Ramos batting average up to 348 with that base hit. 348, folks.
On base percentage is over 390 now. Here's Anthony Rendon.
I mean,
the Nats in this game were once being out hit 7-0. It's now 9-8 Washington. This one near the right field line for Jay Bruce, and just into the first row. Good catch.
Yesterday, Anthony Rendon in the second inning, after Wilson Ramos double, got a hanging changeup and smoked it into the left field stands.
Ooh, that was a hanger. Fouled it straight back. Now the wind has shifted toward left field again, like it started the game.
It's impressive about Wilson and the numbers he's putting up early in the season. For a catcher that's back there getting banged up every night, foul tips off here, foul tips off there, you know, catching day games after night games, and he's still doing what he's doing, hitting 348, makes it even more impressive.
11 for his last 21. Rendon pulls it left side, throw home, And it gets away from Barnhart. Here comes another runner. Murphy is safe. And runners end up at first and third. It's 7-5 Washington. They're going to give the error to Barnhart for missing the throw.
Well, he was in a hurry to turn the double play. With Anthony Rendon's speed, there was no way he was going to turn it. So watch him kind of rush here. It's a low throw from Suarez, but it's one that Tucker Barnhart, tell you, he's got to catch and make sure that first out. And great base running by Daniel Murphy. Never slowed down, never hesitated. Bob Henley, you think he's going to stop somebody? No shot. So a gift, 2 runs.
Yeah, Bryce Harper went third base coach there with the windmill. The Nats have shocked the Reds now, leading 7-5. Cincinnati's second error of the day and their 44th of the season. Second worst rated defense in the league. Still nobody out, and Clint Robinson, the hitter.
Kind of cool, Bryce Harper helping Daniel Murphy out. I don't think Murphy needed any help. He was flying around third anyways, but you know, for you younger kids, after you score a run, you can become a base coach at home. You tell a guy to slide, you tell him to keep coming. Bryce saying, you got this. I don't think he needed that, but he was thinking like Daniel Murphy. Run till they tag you.
Now the first priority, get that third run home. In on the grass at third, Suarez. The middle infielders are back. They'll trade a run for a double play. See if Rendon has anything in mind at first base, or Dusty anything in mind for him moving to second. Robinson saw a pitch up and couldn't get to it. 1-1. Robinson to center, pushing Holt back. Easily scoring will be Wilson Ramos, and now the Nationals lead 8-5. Clint Robinson into double digits with his 10th of the year.
What did we say in the first inning? Get well Sunday. Get some knocks, score some runs, feel good about yourself as a ball club offensively. And the Nats with 8 unanswered runs here to go ahead 8-5.
Danny Espinosa takes ball 1 into the 3 o'clock hour. And this ball game in the top of the 5th already. BCFP, DK. On a crazy Sunday at Great American Ballpark. I don't think this thing's over by any means. Either way. But the Nats have sure taken control. Rendon at first, 1 out.
You know, you're the one that said going to break after the 3rd inning that John Moscott had a no-hitter going, so I'm going to give you a little credit for that. You threw the whammy on him. I know. I saw you working right there.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Reds guys weren't going to say it. Espinosa, that's a tapper over the mound. He will be out on a close play. That's well played by Ivan De Jesus Jr. Rendon to second base, 2 outs.
I mean, put the ball in play today and you got a chance of getting a knock. Nice play by De Jesus. That ball was spinning in a bare hand. Not an easy play.
Sammy Solis is 0 for 1 this year. As a big league hitter, he's 1 for 3.
He can hit.
Not a bad hack. To the other side it goes. Brandon Phillips. Another great inning for the Nationals. They get some help and put 3 on the board to lead 8-5. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Marcell Ozuna had a fantastic May, just about as good as Murphy, and he is on fire for the Marlins. Hector Rondon of Chicago, 21 in a row, and the Cubs refuse to lose. They're 39-15. As we told you earlier, James Shields from the Padres to the White Sox. Don't know yet if the Nats will face him in Chi-Town. We'll worry about that when this game's over. Plenty of baseball to be played here.
I'm bummed, Carp. They canceled the mascot race. They had the finish line set up. Gapper, Mr. Redlegs, Rosie, and Mr. Red were all set to go.
And they called it off? What's up with that? People come to the ballpark for that.
The Reds pulled mascot, and then they pulled their mascots.
And the mascots are going to be around a lot longer. Look out. Jay Bruce, a line drive foul. And then one the other way as Sammy Solis is on the attack. Took Sammy a while to get through that 4th inning. 22 pitches, 15 strikes. Trying to settle this thing down and let the Nat bullpen do its thing for the rest of the day. The #1 ranked bullpen, by the way, in ERA at 2.85. Michael A. Taylor next to Bryce Harper. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. It's brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. A couple of those Senators up in Harrisburg. Neftali Soto, last 10 ball games, he's on fire. But a 27-year-old first baseman at AA, and then Chris Bostic, who's just 23, plays right next to him. And Chris off to a good start. PNC checking in on our talented minor leaguers. Ball 1 to Duvall. One for 2 with a base hit in the series. 4 for 9. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Quite a find for the Reds has been 27-year-old Adam Duvall. Part of the Mike Leake deal when Leake went from the Reds to the Giants for the stretch run last year. Swing and a miss on a fastball up. Sammy Solis has retired 4 in a row. His second strikeout. Nissan will track it.
Filling up that strike zone, attacking Climbs the ladder with 2 strikes. 94-mile-an-hour heater. Duvall late.
Wow, you give a guy an at-bat and he comes out smoking on the mound.
I love his tempo. I love his work rate. I mean, he gets it and goes. Here it is, hit it, challenge you, fills up the strike zone.
Sammy's a reliever who works off the windup when nobody's on base. Many now just work off the stretch no matter what. Swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball. Ramos picked it cleanly. Sammy Solis now 2 innings of scoreless relief. Top of the order, top 6 straight ahead.
Mercedes-Benz of Arlington to check out the 2016 CLA 250 lease at just $299 a month. 8-5 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. How about 3, 4, and 5 for the Nats today? They've been locked in. Bryce Harper, Daniel Murphy, Wilson Ramos. They're 6 for their last 6 with 6 runs scored, a couple of taters, and inventing ways to get hits. And Wilson Ramos with the wind-blown job. That went to right field. And there's some Nats fans soaking it all in.
Yeah, we saw them on Sunday Smiles earlier. Now they've got a lot to be glad about. Top of the 6th inning now, J.C. Ramirez will take over. Juan Carlos Ramirez, 27 years of age, from Nicaragua. This will be his 19th appearance. 17 strikeouts, 21 innings, 4.71 the ERA.
Pretty good fastball, 96, slider 86.
He pitched the 9th on Friday and struck out Worth, Rendon, and Heisey, all swinging to end the game. Right side, another base hit for Ben Revere. Adding to the good signs coming out of this afternoon.
Get well Sunday.
Ben Revere 2 for 2 now career against Ramirez.
Check this out. That looks good. Crooked numbers everywhere.
Count them up and enjoy it. So 2 hit days for 4 different Nats hitters. Taylor trying to check in now. Mindful of Revere and the speed at first. A throw over. Ben 2 for 5 this year. trying to steal. Michael A 0 for 3 today. Ground ball, strikeout, fly ball. Pitch out, Revere not going anywhere.
Nats trying to add on. You can never have enough in this yard.
Yeah, Harper's going to bat 3 innings in a row. Taylor, that's a good take. 2-1 count now in his favor. Well, there's so much hitting room on the right side. Michael A can turn into that kind of hitter. There's no limit to what he can do. Speed guy at first, infield, disrupted a bit. That pitch was going to be inside evidently, but a throw over, so we'll see where Barnhart sets up on 2-1 again. Two and two. And Taylor can't get to that 97. 1 out, 6th inning.
Caption this. Check out @MASSANationals on Instagram. Provide your best caption for this photo. I read some of them yesterday. You guys are hilarious. Keep them coming. Win a meet and greet with us. That's a good prize. Brought to you by Haircuttery, home of the Smile Back Guarantee.
That's the prize?
That's the prize. Well, you get a free shampoo with every haircut.
Well, we'll rip the pages for you in person.
Look like I weigh 400 pounds in that picture.
I think that was prior to the 13-0 spring training win over the Yankees. That ball gets away and Revere to second base. So the Reds are just giving the Nationals too many bags here lately. That's a wild pitch that bails out Tucker Barnhart. He was kind of reaching behind the batter. Tough play for him. So Bryce 2 for 3 today. Couple of runs scored. And that's a strike to the outside edge. He had a bloop last time. Been a while since a blast. Last homer May 28th against the Cardinals and Adam Wainwright. So just over a week ago. Left field, out of play, hit it pretty well.
fighting. Pretty good fastball from Ramirez.
And he's got some juice on that heater. Bryce 0 for 1 career against him. Eight-5 Nats, top of the 6th. Murphy on deck. 2-2 to Bryce.
99. Bryce looks like he's a little more crouched to me this at bat, on his legs, a little bit like Daniel Murphy. Maybe 2-strike approach. 99 miles an hour on the black. Ooh. Good take.
He connects with one of those.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I hit a boat.
3-2 with 1 out. Revere at second. Harper taps it and stays alive. Bottom of the 8th now at Miami. Marlins 1, Mets nothing. Jose Fernandez pitched 7 shutout innings with 14 strikeouts. Now it's up to his bullpen. Harper guys it to left field. What a great at bat for Bryce. First and third. 1 out for Murphy, and Harper has 3 hits in a row.
A nice day for Bryce and counting. 3 hits in a row and 3 innings in a row. 4th a single, 5th a single, 6th a single. Battling, fighting, finally gets a fastball away, drives it the other way. Nice at bat.
So Daniel Murphy, the hitter, 2-run homer and a base hit up the middle his last 2 times. Murphy a base hit to right. Everything finding holes. Harper to third. Bruce a good throw. Bryce is out. But he did enable Murphy to get to second base. The Nats lead 9-5. Took a perfect throw to get him.
No, up by 4, that's a good gamble with 1 out. He's trying to get into scoring position for Wilson Ramos. You'll buy that every single time. Jay Bruce with just a perfect throw to get Bryce. I love the aggressive nature right here. And you wonder if he would have hit the bag with his cleat. He might have beat it, but he was trying to avoid the tag with his hand. You see the tag right there. And in the shocking news department, Daniel Murphy with another hit.
81 hits on the year.
Hits Murphy.
Wilson Ramos, now the Nats lead by 4. And he's 2 for 2 in a row here. So Harper, Murphy, and Ramos are 8 for their last 8, starting with Bryce's single in the 4th inning. Ramos 1 for 1 with a home run career against J.C. Ramirez.
I think I remember it. It was here, it was to right center, and it was a few years back.
Low and inside, 3-1. Ramos up the middle, off the pitcher, and that's another run. Murphy scooting home. It's 10-5. And now these guys are 9 for 9 from the 4th through the 6th innings. Harper, Murphy, and Ramos.
Unbelievable.
And that really hit Ramirez hard.
Yeah, the Buffalo went right back up the middle with this one. I think it was off his knee.
Yeah.
Right knee?
Looked like it.
Daniel Murphy, who got to second base on the throw to third, scores. And it's 10-5 Nats. If you're just joining us, it was 5-0 after 2. Reds.
And the Nats have been out hit 7-0 at that point.
Offense is cool.
Well, you've talked about the speed of this infield too. Colorado's known for a fast infield. I mean, hitters' ballparks where ground balls carry well. Anthony Rendon is next. Looks like Ramirez might throw a couple here.
Lining up. Fight at the bat rack right now. Though I want to hit. I want to hit.
Ramos' RBI total now up to 31. Murphy's is up to 37. Looks like Ramirez is okay to stay. Or not. He was up on the mound. He and the trainer were the last 2 guys up there, and so he's done.
I'm guessing you're in.
Josh Smith is number 73. He's been throwing for a while. So Ramirez lasting 5 hitters in this inning. 2/3 of an inning thanks to an outfield assist. 4 hits. Tuesday night in Chicago. Joe Ross 5-4. He's won his last 2 starts now with only 2 earned runs over 14 innings. Matt Latos. Nats know him well from his National League days, scheduled to go for the White Sox, and he's 6-1 with a 4.02. So we'll get you going 7:30 from the Central Time Zone. Nats Extra Tuesday night. Kyle Waldrop is in left field, and then Adam Duvall moves to third base. Right-hander Josh Smith, 28 years of age, and his second go-round with the Reds, 4th game of the year.
Fastball 92, slider 84, curveball 78. 4th appearance. Opponent's hitting .286 against the Reds right-hander. And if I'm Anthony Rendon, I'm glad that J.C. Ramirez is out of the game, because the last thing you want to do is face a guy that throws 99 that's wounded, because you don't know where it's going to go.
So Rendon seeing Smith for the first time. Only hitter on the Nats ball club who's ever faced Josh Smith, Daniel Murphy. So all these guys seeing the right-hander for the first time. Strike one. 2 outs in the inning on a Taylor strikeout and a Bruce throw to third, getting Bryce Harper on the tail end of a Murphy RBI single. Rendon rams one to right, and it's well fouled.
Wilson Ramos average update 352. He's going to cut Daniel Murphy.
And his on base percentage is getting close to 400 now.
Murphy's at 386. Ramos at 352.
And right now that's the 2nd highest batting average in the league. Except Ramos doesn't have enough at bats to qualify at the moment. There aren't many catchers ever involved in batting championship races. So it might be tough to win one if you're catching 120 games or 125 a year. Got to get the at bats.
Got to stay healthy too.
Exactly.
And not wear down.
Rendon to the left side. That's cut off by Duvall. On to Votto. And the Reds had to stand around for another really long inning. 2 more runs for the Nats, who lead at 10-5.
Charge of this ball game, pounding the strike zone, good tempo, fastball has been overpowering as he elevates with 2 strikes. So there's a couple of Ks. The curveball's been good too, and we are digging what we're seeing from Sammy Solis. It's time for Toyota Ks for Kids. Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
Sammy, 2 innings, 33 pitches, 24 strikes. He just had an 11-pitch, 9-strike 5th inning. So he's the guy trying to settle down this whole afternoon and get the Nats on their way to Chicago. By the way, Washington has not come back yet this year from a 5-run deficit. They did it twice last year. Strike call, and that's to eventually win the game, of course. A lot of outs to get, still 12 of those to nail this one down. De Jesus 1 for 2, 2-run double, fly ball to center today. Got some swing and miss stuff going right now. 5 batters in a row retired, 3 on strikes. Another strikeout, 3 in a row.
Get it and go.
So the Mets lose to the Marlins 1-0 on the road. The Nats lead at a game and a half right now. So at the end of the day, it could be Washington by 2 and then back to 4 Marlins. And then on to Chicago for the final 3 games of this 9-game trip. Tucker Barnhart 2 for 2, base hit to right, single up the middle. Drew Storen's old battery mate from Brownsburg, Indiana High School. When Drew was a freshman, Lance Lynn was a senior. And then when Drew was a sophomore, or rather a junior and a senior, Tucker Barnhart was his catcher. 3 pretty good talents out of one high school.
Drew's having a rough go in Toronto so far.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Reds box, you can cram 6 of their 8 hits into the 2nd inning. The big blows were the De Jesus 2-run double, the 2-run single by Tyler Holt, a bloop to center. They put 5 on the board. Nats have doubled up on that. Sammy Solis keeps blowing people away.
Do it, Sammy.
4 strikeouts in a row. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
It's great tempo, filling up. Does he have family in Chicago that we don't know about?
Trying to get there, you mean?
Yeah.
There's Kyle Waldrop. Got his first major league hit here yesterday. And he just came in on a double switch.
So I'm not the best color guy in the league for nothing. He does have family there. That's where he's from. So Dan's telling us. I'm looking at his player profile. That's where his family is. Okay. I'm seeing he went to school in Arizona, so University of San Diego.
Yeah, and Sammy was born in Minneapolis. So he's been all over the place. No matter where this road trip is going, he's got family.
Yeah, he wants to get there, wherever there is.
He pitches like this, we'll go wherever he wants us to go. Out of play off the bat of Waldrop, and the count's 1-2. Coming into this appearance, Sammy, in his last 7 appearances out of the bullpen, had only given up 3 hits in 9 1/3 innings. Now, he did walk 5 guys, but he has struck out 11, and they were hitting .097 against him. So he's on a bit of a roll here. How about that for a big curveball? 5 in a row, 6 strikeouts in 3 innings by lefty Sammy Solis, 27 years of age, from everywhere. American Hitters Ballpark should be named here in Cincinnati. Top of the 7th coming up. The Nats will be still facing Josh Smith out of the Reds bullpen. Robinson, Espinosa, and then the pitcher spot. Sammy Solis now 50 pitches, 35 strikes in his 3 innings. Clint Robinson 1 for 2, a double, a sac fly last time. Nats were still trying to stretch that lead the last time Clint batted, and this soft pop-up will be caught left side by Duvall. Let's go inside the numbers with Jeep. Relief losses. So the Reds bullpen has lost 14 games this year. And it's kind of interesting, when Felipe Rivera was the losing pitcher yesterday, that broke a streak of 20 games in a row where the Nats starter was involved in the decision. So our bullpen hasn't been in much trouble thanks to the starters and their fine work. It's been a rough ride though for the Reds. Brian Price and Mark Riggins, their pitching coach. Here's Danny Espinosa 0 for 2, but his intentional walk, and there's Sammy about to bat again. His intentional walk led to the Drew base hit and then the Revere base hit that tied the game. So you can look at that 2 ways. They walked Espinosa, who homered here yesterday and has had a home run touch. And then on the flip side, they intentionally walked a guy hitting under 200, and then boom, boom, the Nats tie the game. Tough decisions managers have to make. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Every day, Felipe.
Danny in the series 1 for 8. 1-1 pitch. He strikes out. Actually a 1-2 pitch. 2 down here in the 7th. Here comes Sammy to hit again.
So I was looking during the break and seeing where he was from, doing research. His father Bob and his mother Sally purchased a 75-acre farm in South Africa for orphans. So he's all over the place. The family is.
Yeah. Name a continent Sammy Solis is from.
I think that's pretty cool.
That's in there to even the count, 1-1.
It says right here, Sammy is a laid-back and easygoing by nature. He's a big teddy bear and one of the nicer guys you'll find. Everybody loves him.
It says that?
Yeah, it says it right here.
Wow. What is that? Sensitive-relievers.com?
That's not farmers only. He's in attack mode on the mound today, boy.
He took the breaking ball, and then Doug Eddings rips the pages, and that's it for the Nats in the top of the 7th. We have made it to the 7th inning stretch. A lot of offense. The Nats pounding out base hits. They lead 10-5. Righted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Things are happening big time for the offense in Cincinnati after a slow start today. Bottom of the 7th, top of the order for the Reds. Tale of two bullpens. For the first 2 games of the series, you wouldn't have known it that the Reds had the worst ERA of any bullpen in the league at 6.85. The Nats 2.85, leading the pack coming in. The National League average, interesting, 4.06. So in this era of hard throwers out of the bullpen, some of them are getting knocked around. So Sammy Solis did bat. Dusty saved a couple of position players in case he needs them later, and here comes Felipe. And by the way, for Sammy Solis, 50 pitches, 35 strikes in 3 innings, giving up 1 hit, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. It's a career high for Sammy. Felipe got the loss yesterday, 0-2 with a 4.21 ERA, 33 strikeouts in 26 innings. With more on Felipe, here's Dan.
Bob, we've seen Felipe Rivero show some more emotion on the mound of late than we've seen of him over the last couple years. He told me the other day that the move that he pulled off in Philadelphia after a strikeout, it looked like a little bit of a curtsy. He was actually watching tape of Jose Lima, the former big league right-hander, and tried to imitate a move that Lima used to do. He said he didn't really practice it or anything. He just got out there on the mound and pulled off what came to him. But he did say that he feels like the emotion, using that emotion, has kind of helped him a little bit. He feels that gets him a little fired up, and when he channels it and kind of lets it come out in the form of a fist pump or a little bit of a curtsy move, he feels like it kind of, you know, gets to him. It allows him to pitch better when he pitches with that emotion.
It was an electric slide. And anytime you get Lima time in a broadcast, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
He was very colorful, and
he was in the big leagues for 13 years. A lot of years with Houston and the Tigers. Tyler Holt, perfect day, a single, a 2-run single, and a base on balls, and a swing and a foul straight back.
I like the flair. And if it's not rehearsed in pure emotion,
yeah,
I feel like you're not showing anybody up. If it's rehearsed, that's when players have trouble with it. Like the whole, you remember Mejia a couple years ago reeling in Ian Desmond. That's rehearsed. That's not pure emotion in the moment. You practice that in BP, and guys have trouble with stuff like that. But if it's a big moment, you strike somebody out, heck yeah, show emotion. Make baseball fun again.
The last 6 Cincinnati batters have failed to make contact here. So Felipe strikes out Tyler Holt.
You know, you and I, partner, have done a lot of games together, and I'm trying to remember one that's done a 180 like this.
You know, the Atlanta game last year comes to mind when the Nats were way down and they went crazy.
But this was so quick. It just went whoop.
Yeah, in about 45 minutes, this game went from one kind of game, the pendulum, right back the other way, maybe less than that. And since the 2nd inning, when they scored 5 runs, the Reds have 1 hit, and that was a bouncer up the middle by Tucker Barnhart, leading off the 4th. Rivero throwing smoke a little bit low to Joey Votto. 2 balls, no strikes.
I think one of the more interesting stories as this season progresses is how Felipe Rivero holds up with all of this workload he's had.
Yeah.
Does he have a rubber arm? Is he going to be fine in September? And we joke with the everyday Felipe reference, but he is out there pretty much every day, every other day it seems like, at least.
Walked Joey Votto yesterday, and he just walked him again. Got to bring in Brandon Phillips. And by the way, I need to correct something I said a little earlier, talking about Phillips and those RBIs. 17 in a week. The most by a Red since Ray Knight had 17 in July '89. but Ray had 19 in August of '89. I received a very terse text message from the Nats Extra studio saying 19, not 18. And that didn't come from Ray, by the way. Though he might have informed Johnny Holiday about that stat. So Ray, don't mean to shortchange you. 19 RBIs in 1 week. Crazy. Phillips 1 for 3 today. Against Felipe Rivero, 0 for 2 career. And when Ray did that in August of '89, Coors Field was not in the league yet. 2-0.
He's a guy that hit the ball the other way, let the ball travel, didn't have a lot of holes in his swing. Those are guys that drive in runs. Made a lot of contact. Right center for the RBI all the time.
Now suddenly Felipe is all over the place, and that's 3-0 on Phillips. The quickest way to let the Reds back in this game is to walk a couple and then have somebody park one. So he's thrown 7 in a row that have missed. There's Sean Kelly, who gave up the home run yesterday to Adam Duvall that made Felipe the loser of that 6-3 game. Felipe, even if he loses, Phillips probably stays in to face Jay Bruce, who's next. One on, one out, bottom of the 7th, 10-5 Washington. Pop fly, right side. Long way to go for Murphy. Can't get there. It's in front of Harper. And now the Reds bloop in another hit. 1st and 3rd, 1 out.
I'm telling you, both clubs today put the ball in play. You got a good chance of getting a hit. There's been a lot of creative ways to get base hits here today for both sides.
You know, and it's funny, we've watched games for years here and in Colorado. You talk about how the ball jumps, but you see so many other balls falling in too, because guys are playing deep, trying to cut off gaps, and then funny things seem to happen other than the big fly balls as well. So Mike Maddox with his hand on Felipe's shoulder, just telling him to throw strikes and get some outs. He did battle back there against Phillips, but the count was 3-0. So here's Jay Bruce. He had a base hit against Felipe down the right field line yesterday prior to the pitching change and that Duvall home run.
See if they go with the slider here to get his release point back out front, slow him down a little bit.
There it is. Nationals will gladly trade a ground ball for a chance at a double play, or rather a run for a chance at a double play. Jay Bruce high in the air, right center. It's a 10-8 game.
So first pitch slider for a strike, and then he goes fastball. And Jay Bruce catches it out front and makes it a ball game again. It's always a ball game here, folks. Doesn't matter if you're up by 5, up by 7. And that was a far one by Jay Bruce. He's locked in.
Nats will have to go with Sean Kelly against Adam Duvall, and this matchup yielded a home run yesterday. Now it's tight again. Long way to go. One Nats, 8-10 and 2 Reds. You know, there's been rumors, all kinds of them around here, about Jay Bruce ending up with another ball club. But this year, FP, his value is a lot higher the way he's hitting than it has been in recent years.
Yeah, power and average. And he's been absolutely locked in. And Dusty Baker give the ball to Sean Kelly. Opponent's hitting 197 against the Nats right-hander. Fastball slider combination. Fastball in the low 90s.
Kelly against Duvall, who took him deep yesterday. This one straight up in the air, left side. Espinosa out. Ben Revere behind him, makes the call, still coming.
Got interesting for a second.
Yeah, this time of the day, left field is the sun field here. And Ben had a long way to go to get that second out. Billy Hamilton will hit in the pitcher's spot here. And this is a guy you have to make him earn his way aboard. Hamilton as a pinch hitter, 0 for 2 on the year, strike 1. Overall batting average not that bad at 250. Billy Hamilton into this season a 242 career hitter. Did he swing? He did. His body was spinning, the bat was going with it. Strike 2.
Swinging and getting out of the way all at the same time. Don't try that at home. You might get hurt.
Kelly gets his revenge on the Reds today. He pops up Duvall, strikes out Hamilton. Are 10 runs enough? 2 innings to go. Brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air. It's their all-star sales event with up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. And by visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. The Masson Speedboat heading down the Ohio.
Or jet ski. Little jet ski racing.
That's a big jet ski. Wow. I didn't know Masson had that in the garage, but evidently they pulled it out.
Peanuts are back at the Fitz. They'll have their jet skis all set to go in Woodbridge for a 4-game set. Thursday, June 9th it starts. Lots of good stuff going on down there. Anthony the Ant Rendon figurine giveaway on the 11th. So check it out. Join the party at the Fitz. Call the number on the screen or go to the website.
Ross Ohlendorf was the pitcher of record for the loss yesterday, and then the Reds turned it around and got him the win. Ben Rivero for 2 career against him. Now Ben trying to go Harper Murphy Ramos mode with his 3rd consecutive hit.
Boy, it's hard to tell a team that scored 10 runs they have to add on, but that's the way you play here in Cincinnati. Nats would love some more.
Ohlendorf came into the 8th inning yesterday, gave up the game tying home run to Danny Espinosa. Then he walked a man, got out of the inning when he retired Revere on a fly ball. And that's near the first base bag for Joey Votto. 1 out. Next up, Taylor. First at bat against Ohlendorf ever. 0 for 4 today. That's been the extent of his at bats in this series. Strike call. Swing and a miss on a high heater. So Ohlendorf mid-90s 3 times in a row to Michael A. Taylor.
Now that one was 96.
Taylor jacks one to left. It is off the wall about halfway up that 15-foot barrier. Any elevation Michael A. would have had his 5th home run. Runner at second, 1 out. Here come the big boppers.
Nice swing, Michael A. And it's your Miller moment, folks. Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. So Bryce has a chance to drive a run in now all of a sudden. We're going to show you his day. 3 knocks. That ball smoked through the shift. This one nicely placed. And then a little slappage to left with 2 strikes on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So Bryce Harper 3 for 3 and counting, having a big day. 3 for 4, excuse me.
Scored after the first 2 of those hits. Bryce facing a former teammate for the first time. Yeah, that's one number that has been up there all year long. Hasn't added to it a whole lot, but it hasn't gone down a whole lot because opportunities haven't been that abundant for Bryce with guys on ahead of him. Shift is on. A lot of room right through shortstop. Ohlendorf bringing the gas here. 2-1.
Challenging him. Here it is. Hit it. Here's my heater.
Harper, right field. Caught by Bruce. It just hung up too long. 2 outs. It's up to Murphy, who has driven in 3 runs in his last 3 ABs. And against Ross Ohlendorf, he is 6 for 10 career with 3 batted in. You've got me adding the syllable to his name.
That's my fault.
He used to be Ohlendorf. He picked up a 4th syllable somewhere.
It's only Ohlendorfer, and you just called him that. I love it.
I know.
I'll take responsibility for that one.
Now, if he ever pitched against Kirk Dressendorfer,
yeah, we've had all kinds of
we'd really
furs.
have a great matchup.
For.
Brats would be $1 on that day. Murphy takes one low and away, 2-0.
See, this is where he might get something to hit because you got a guy on deck hitting 352. You know, 2 outs, first base open, ball game again. Do you think, well, do I pitch to Daniel Murphy? Well, yeah. Even though you got right on deck and Wilson Ramos.
Running to third is Taylor, and the ball gets away. They'll give him a steal, but he was out with a good throw and a tag.
Out by a full step.
Michael A. Taylor gets his 7th steal of the year. That's just like a play at second base. They're not going to assess an error. They're going to give the runner a steal.
Well, he stuck his foot in the glove, and that knocked the ball loose. And so the late tough slide by Michael Taylor.
Ooh.
And maybe a cleat.
Might have gotten him above the glove. Duvall right just now putting his glove back on. Well, if you're going to do that, you better make it, and the Nats are lucky that Taylor did. The count's 2-1 on Murph. He got jammed. That's a pop-up playable near the line for Brandon Phillips, and he has the foul ball. The Nats strand only the 4th runner of the day. 6 outs to get in a 10-8 game.
Conversion. The Nats hit a long field goal, and we go into the bottom of the 8th. Get an entire month of home games for just $50 with Nats Pass. Do you get to go through toll plazas with that too? That'd be cool. The newest way to enjoy Nats baseball. Catch every game in June in standing room areas of Nats Park for just $50. Phillies, Cubs, Mets, Reds are coming to town. Visit nationals.com/NatsPass for all the details.
Fans, a long day in the sun for this one.
Well,
ball game over 3 hours old in another minute or so.
Well, this place will make you drink if you're a pitcher.
DeJesus, Barnhart, and Waldrop For the Reds, bottom of the 8th inning, Sean Kelly back to work. Foul ball. He threw 4 pitches, 4 strikes to pop up Duvall and strike out Billy Hamilton. J.C. Ramirez got a bruised right quad on that one hopper by Wilson Ramos that forced him out of the ball game. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. Great pitch. Sean Kelly looking sharp today. Next up, Barnhart.
Yeah, got to keep the ball down. Look at all the strikes. Bottom of the zone, then he goes with the slider. After establishing the lower half of the strike zone, got to commit.
And a left-handed batter all locked up. Relievers will tell you, you have a rough day, and if you haven't been overworked in the days before that, you want to get right back on that horse the next day. And Sean Kelly's doing it very well here. Oh-2 pitch. A flare to left. Ben Revere looking into that sun. He just had a little bit of a flinch right at the end of that. 2 outs. Oliver Perez warming up. So here's Waldrop. Struck out back in the 6th by Sammy Solis, who right now is the pitcher of record for the Nats. And how about 5 quick outs by Sean Kelly?
Nicely done.
It's one of his best outings of the year right there. 12 pitches, 12 strikes to get 5 outs. Wow. Top of the 9th, Ramos, Rendon, and Robinson. Kelly, 12 pitches to get rid of 5 Cincinnati batters. He is pumped, should be, in this ballpark. Tune into the Nats Extra postgame show presented by WB Mason when this game is over. Sitting next to Johnny Holiday, a man who once had 19 RBIs in a week, Ray Knight.
I think I heard that somewhere today.
Yeah, I'm making up for Lost time here. Still smarting from Ohlendorfer. And here's Blake Wood.
Fastball 95, will run it back. Saw a lot of sink on that fastball the other day. Slider 89, occasional changeup at 86.
Nats got a run on 2 hits on him in a inning and 2/3 on Saturday, or rather Friday night. Jason Worth got him for a homer. Rendon got a base hit against him. So it's Ramos, Rendon, and Robinson here. Ramos a big day, 3 for 4. Looks at the breaking ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So relaxed at the plate. His feet are so slow. His head's staying perfectly still. 352 average will do that for you.
Ramos doesn't strike out much lately. It's only the 20th time this year Wilson Ramos has struck out in 160 at bats. 1 out. Next up, Anthony Rendon. Jonathan Papelbon getting ready for the Nats. Hasn't appeared in this series, but about to. And the Reds will have the top of their order due up in the 9th.
Anthony Rendon trying to check into the hit parade here today.
Yeah, 0 for 4, and he came into this one 3 for 5 in the series with a couple of walks, a homer, 2 RBIs. It's up in the zone, strike 2. Anthony can't reach it. That was a foul tip, according to Doug Eddings. Dug out of there by Tucker Barnhart.
The foul tip that hit the dirt. That's what he was pointing at. You saw the dirt kind of this late in the day, bunch of dust, so he didn't catch that thing cleanly. So foul tip, and watch it just get in the dirt before Tucker Barnhart can catch it. Or did it? Ooh.
Umpire might have heard 2 sounds: the glove hitting the dirt and the ball. Looked like he swung and missed. Payoff pitch with 1 out. Rendon broke his bat. Up the middle it goes. De Jesus on time by a step. 2 outs. Clint Robinson now. And Clint's had a good day. 1 for 3 with a double, a run scored, and his 10th RBI and a sac fly. High chopper. Phillips had to back up.
Wow.
Then throws while backpedaling. He's pretty slick over there.
Wow.
That's 4 Gold Gloves that just made that play. Papelbon for the bottom of the 9th. It's 10-8.
Talk about a guy having fun playing the game. Watch this. Kind of adjusts with a bad hop. Watch the top spin. Gives with it. That's the hard part. And then the throw off balance right on the money. Watch this hop. It kind of stays down. And he gives with it. Watches it right into his glove. And then jumps in the air off the wrong foot. Throws it to Joey Votto. Big smile after he made the play. Having fun playing the game. Nice play.
That was like that play the other night. Remember, Murphy got caught in between on a spinner, like a big overspin grounder, just like that. So on this fast infield, that was really good. All right, here's Papelbon. 3 outs to get. Tyler Holt, Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips looking for his 15th save.
Yeah, fastball slider split. Fastball averaging 90.7 miles an hour this year.
Tyler Holt sees him for the first time. Showed bunt. Rendon was already playing in.
Yeah, down by 2. His job to get on base any way he can. Not a bad idea.
Right in there. Power on deck and power in the hole. Votto and Phillips. And you don't want this inning to get to Jay Bruce. Up the middle, base hit on an 0-2 pitch. That breaking ball was not low and away. It was up a bit where Holt could get to it. He's on base for the 4th time.
Yeah, nice day for Tyler Holt. 3 with a walk.
All right, here's Votto. 0 for 1 career with a strikeout and a walk against Papelbon. That 3-run 7th inning got the Reds back in the ball game, and here they are, 3 outs left. Tying run in the batter's box. Ball 1. The Nats are in a shift, but Murphy's on the infield. .92. Jonathan pitched 2 nights in Philadelphia, saved the game on Tuesday, closed out a 5-1 win on Wednesday. Ball 3.
It's a good take by Joey Votto. He's sitting 2-1 fastball right there. Looked like he got the split. And a pretty close pitch goes his way. The danger right now, A, you got to throw a strike, but B, the book on Votto's pound him in. It's always a dangerous thing when you're up by 2 to a guy that has some pop. You definitely don't want to let him get extended and go the other way. That's where he makes most of his money.
With 2 strikes, Rendon has moved to a true shortstop position. 2 on, nobody out. Brandon Phillips is 0 for 4 career against Papelbon. Phillips today 2 for 4, base it up the middle in the second. A bloop hit to right prior to the Bruce 3-run homer in the 7th. And an off-speed pitch over Brandon Phillips' helmet as he had squared around.
Boy, how about that strategy? Did he do that on his own or that come for the bench? Brandon Phillips showing bunt right here, and he gets what looks like a slider that slipped out of Papelbon's hand. How often do you see a 3-hole hitter bunt? And especially a guy that can drive in a run.
Foul ball. Yeah, if he would, well, he's not going to bunt. Well, he still might, but I mean, if he does bunt, moves runners, then the Nats would have to make a decision on whether you put the winning run on with Bruce. But I mean, this is a guy who's paid to drive in runs.
Serious drama here in the bottom of the 9th.
Nats trailed 5-0, led 10-5. Now it's 10-8. And Phillips took a big swing and got a piece of it. Two-2 pitch. Fair. Left field corner. Votto the guy to watch as he heads for third. And the Reds have the winning runs on base. It's now 10-9.
When you're not missing bats, you got to pray that they hit it at somebody.
And you have to walk Jay Bruce, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot pitch to this man in this situation. So it'll be the pitcher spot. After Adam Duvall, So the bases will be loaded with nobody out in a one-run game. Mike Maddox to the mound. Adam Duvall has faced Papelbon twice before, 0 for 2.
I mean, if you want to win this game, you need a strikeout and a ground ball. If you're the Nats. I mean, you have to pitch for a strikeout right here because a ground ball ties the game. If you want to go to extra innings, you'll take the ground ball. But either way, if you're Dusty Baker right now, you got to think lucky because you're up against it. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Duvall today, a second inning base hit, 0 for 3 since then. His 2 career at bats against Papelbon, a pop-up and a strikeout. And a little pop fly to Danny Espinosa for the first out.
That's as good as a strikeout.
On 1 pitch. Zach Cozart will hit for the pitcher.
Keep thinking lucky.
Cozart's had a good series. 2 hits, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, and against Jonathan Papelbon, 1 for 4.
The first pitch swinger.
And the off speed had him way out ahead and over the top. That's a good rip, and it's 0-2. Third base, Votto. Second base, Phillips. Votto not fast. Phillips is. And then Jay Bruce at first.
You go higher than that pitch if you want, or lower than the first pitch, one or the other. Higher than high or lower than low, and if it's the split in the dirt, rely on Wilson Ramos to block it.
Swing and a miss. 2 down.
Huge.
And now it's up to Ivan De Jesus Jr.
He did. He went down where the first pitch was. And Zach Cozart got his pitch on the second pitch, missed it. And a big second out here in the bottom of the 9th. Keep thinking lucky.
De Jesus 1 for 4. He is facing Papelbon for the first time.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Phillips is halfway to third. He scores on anything.
Yeah. Harper's shallow and right. Up and in. And look, that looked more dangerous than it was because De Jesus was diving.
Well, you don't want to hit anybody.
Bases loaded, 2 outs and a 1-1 count. Inside edge. Strike 2.
Good frame by Ramos. Got the call. Watch Wilson stick the landing here.
Yeah, just framed it. Took a look at the runner at third like it was the first inning. Now a 1-2 pitch.
A fastball up to get back to that split. Change his eye level, go back down, see if you get the swing through. Don't be afraid to bounce it and trust your catcher.
High fly ball, left center. Taylor after it. Taylor has it, and the Nats hold on to win.
Had it all the way.
10-9.
Never a doubt. Easy 10-9 victory. A laugher, if you will. Oh my goodness.
Laugh when your pulse slows down, Nats fans. Papelbon gets 3 batters in a row to get his 15th save of the year, and the Nats hold on somehow to win this game by a 10-9 score. Reds strand 7 runners on the day. So join us from Chicago Tuesday night. This has been a presentation of Masson from Cincinnati. See you later.